And welcome to what is now my fourth video of this project or gameplay series. But if you're just joining as your first time, let me just briefly go over what this game is about. So this is essentially a mini golf game, top-down mini golf game, using a very similar mechanic that you guys might have seen before in other games like pool or egg ball, where it's a top-down thing and you slide the ball down and you hit it and try to get to the hole. But a unique element that this game has is the sliding puzzle element, which essentially is an element where you can slide tiles to get the ball closer to the hole or get the hole closer to the ball. So if you ever played those sliding puzzles as a child before, you'll know what I'm kind of talking about. But if you want, obviously, an extra explanation and technical implementations of everything in these things, you can check out my first video that goes over way more details than I will here. But let's just get into it. So this is the fourth video, and what you can tell the difference is from the third video is the new shop system or the currency system. And another feature that I'll show you later is the save state. So essentially, this game now saves your progress and tracks your progress. So every level you complete, it remembers it, and so that obviously it what do you call it? You don't have to reset your progress every single time you exit a level. But yeah, this is also the final, I guess, update video until maybe a week or two later, because I think for the next week, what I'm going to do is just design a lot more levels than I have right now. I think I have around 7 levels completed, but obviously, if this was to be a game, obviously it needs way more levels. So I'll probably go and design a lot of levels, and only new features that might come in is maybe like a few new tiles, because I understand that the amount of tiles I have, type of tiles I have, it's somewhat limited, and it won't make me make creatively, I guess, and fun and challenging like 30-40 levels, which is kind of my goal right now. So that's definitely going to be added, and that's probably the next steps. But anyway, before I digress. But yeah, I'll just show you the currency system and the save system. So quickly, you can tell that the currency earned and total currency, this kind of shows up. But I'll show you the save system first, just for the sake of it. So if you look at it, I exit the level. Ignore this. This is because I need to update my Unity engine, the current version I'm using, because yeah, you can see that it just throws some problems. But yeah, look at that. It saves your state. Level 1 is already completed because I've already completed it. Yay. Now let's move on to the shop system. Or actually, before I move into the shop system, I'll show you a skip level feature I have now. So there's 2 ways to spend your currency. So the first way is obviously going to the shop, buy whatever you want. Currently, it's only test items, but more will be added later on. But another way to spend your currency actually is to buy levels or skip to the level. So if you skip the lock level, if you click the lock level, you will skip the current level that's incompleted. So level 1, skip to level 1-3 for 50 coins. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's skip it. It deducts your points or deducts your currency, and the second level is marked as completed, and you can now play the third level. I'll just play the third level really quickly. You've seen this before, hopefully. It's a very simple level. I just realized I'm doing it the wrong way. So what you're supposed to do is actually just put the ball into one of these tiles. Oh shoot, sorry. Uh, shoot. One of these tiles and slide it over and what do you call it? Put the ball in the net or put the ball in the hole. But this is the way to do it as well. But yeah, in the shop, currently it doesn't really do anything other than you can really just purchase items, and now the item is marked as owned. That's really the only feature it has right now. But obviously more will be added later on, right? Like cosmetics, right? Different types of balls, different types of flags, different types of tiles, right? Different types of themes, right? Futuristic themes, steampunk themes, whatever. But that's, future artist me's job to do. So I'll put that off until, maybe all the gameplay things and all the things I've settled down. But yeah, and you might be wondering, where will I equip these things? I thought about it, and I thought about just making it the shop also an inventory, so you can, if you click any owned items, it will just equip it. I thought about that. I thought it was just simpler than creating another button for inventory. Not because it's harder or anything, but because I think for like a minimalistic style game, kind of like this, it just makes more sense to have less buttons, or minimal amount of buttons as possible. I think I'm a believer that maybe a lot of buttons just kind of can confuse a user, and just tapping equipped items on the shop again is probably just much easier, honestly. Uh, because I actually thought about it and I was like, okay, I thought I had this clever idea with the inventory, because you know how usually video games have a backpack as an inventory icon, but instead of backpack, because it is a golf game, I thought about adding like a golf bag, one of those things that caddies carry during golf matches or golf competitions. I thought about making that. I thought it would be a pretty clever design, but you know what? I think having the shop also be an inventory is just a much simpler and more effective UI. So I figured that would be the case, and that's what I'll probably do. Obviously, things might change. This is very, very early in development. But yeah, next few days, more levels will be added. Obviously, a few bugs fixes that I need to do. You can maybe notice some of them. I'll go over some of them that I'll probably fix, like the level scroll bar being not top enough, or like the board size being slightly different in the actual levels and the shop and the settings. And obviously, if you notice, you can kind of tell, but the animation is fast, but you can kind of tell the background image actually isn't connected. So you can see that there's a border. That also I need to fix. But yeah, these things will be fixed maybe in a week time ish. But so the next video will be out maybe a little later than you expect, but way more levels will be added. Bug fixes will happen. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time. If I can end the video.